Monday, or I guess happy Tuesday by the time you guys are seeing this. I came real close to just blowing off my freelance vlog for the week because my freelance work is a lot, but I know I can make the time to do this, and I do ultimately always find it helpful to kind of document and talk through everything that I'm doing, and hopefully you guys are getting some value out of it too. So last week, to recap, I'm working on a draft of a book that I'm ghostwriting, and I came up with a new schedule for myself, which is that I'm gonna write 5,500 words every Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday, and then take that Friday to edit it, to fix it Friday. And man, did I love that last week. Every day that I sat down to write, Thursday was the toughest writing day for me, and it actually got a lot better once I reminded myself, hey, tomorrow you're going to fix it, so just write and don't get stuck trying to find the perfect turns of phrase for every single sentence. It's okay. And just like it had on Monday and Tuesday, it worked. I was able to write fast. I finished my 5,500 words all 3 of those days by noon, which was awesome. It was like 4 to 5 very, very intense, deep focused hours of work. But I mean, I've said this a million times before, mornings are the best time for me personally, creatively. And I love finishing and taking her out for a walk and knowing that the rest of the day, whatever work I do, it's not going to be nearly that intense. It's just, I don't know, it works well for me. And Friday, revising, like I suspected, the first page, the opening definitely needed the most work, but I got it to a place where I really, really like it. And you know, the rest of the draft, I tidied up quite a bit, but it wasn't bad. It wasn't sloppy. It was pretty close. So I think ultimately now that the final result was by Friday afternoon, I had 16,500 words. I think that this draft, edit, repeat is going to work well for me. And I'm going to keep doing that for this book. And if it continues to work this well, this might just be the way I write drafts from now on. Like I really think I was worried it was going to help make me fall into the self-editing loop, but instead I think it's kind of saving me from that, because it's easier for me to write when and to accept that a sentence isn't as good as I know it can be when I'm telling myself, hey, in a couple days you're gonna get some time to fix it, so it's okay. Anyway, so that method has been working really great. I do have a new book coach client, and we have a month of consultations scheduled, and while the next 3 are going to be on Tuesdays, for this week she needed to be on Monday. And Monday tends to be my biggest work day of the week anyway, because I've got that 5,500 words to write, but I'm also filming and editing and uploading this vlog, which takes some time as well. So because I knew her consultation was this morning at 10 o'clock for a full hour, and obviously I needed to prepare first, I decided that instead of fully taking Sunday off, I was going to shift some of my work today to yesterday so that today wouldn't be so bad. So yesterday I ended up writing almost 3,000 words on my draft. And this morning before the consultation, I got in about another 1,000. So I've still got another 1,500 words to go to get to the total I need for you know, that 5,500 word goal. So I have to do that this afternoon. And it's afternoon obviously, and working in the afternoon on that kind of thing is not my favorite, but it's only 1,500 words. This is totally doable. What are you doing? It's doable, and then I'll edit this vlog and get it up, and we'll call it a Monday. So now I want to get into 3 more of the questions that you guys have asked. And if this is the first time you're seeing one of these videos, for every freelance vlog, I invite everyone to ask me questions about freelancing in the comments below. I'm saving all of them, and I'm gonna answer 3 in every vlog. So here we go with the first one. What sort of experience should one have before they venture into freelancing? This is a really tough one. I mean, some clients or companies or whoever you're looking to for work are going to want a higher level of experience than you may have starting out, but I know this is cliche, but everyone starts somewhere. I do think you can essentially start from nothing. I mean, I'll just go into my experience. I I have a music education degree, so nothing to do with writing. I was a public high school and middle school teacher in Texas for 4 years. I taught ESL overseas in South Korea and Brazil. None of those have anything to do with writing. And then full story in this vlog I'll link to up here. But while I was living in Korea, I got super sick. I was bedridden, I lost my job, that kind of thing, like out for months. And I had already been writing my first book, the one that ultimately I queried and it never got an agent, but it was still my first book. And I thought, you know, maybe there's other writing things I can do while I'm here bedridden and all I have is my laptop, and, you know, might as well try to make some money some other way, right? So I started travel writing because I was living overseas. I had been, you know, traveled a lot, and it seemed kind of like a natural fit. And I also found this is different times, guys. This is 2010. It's going to be a lot of a different thing now. I don't think I could do today what I did back then, but I found a lot of content mills. I'm talking about sites like eHow and companies like Demand Studios that aren't around anymore that just pay, I mean, they pay a pretty low per word rate, but if you can write fast, you can make a ton of money. So, you know, they'll say $5, $10, $15, whatever, per article of this number of words, usually pretty short. I wrote, I'm not joking when I say literally thousands of articles about how to put together different types of resumes, different types of cover letters, how to do certain things on iMovie, just anything that I would see that I was like, oh, I know how to do that. I would grab it from the queue and claim it as my own, and I would write as many articles as I could, and I would get paid for it. That lasted for a couple years, and in the meantime, I also found an internship with an online travel magazine. Internships are great. If you can find an internship, go for it. And I'm gonna get into this more when I answer the next question, but I am of the belief that no matter what level you're at, you deserve to get paid for your work. And I was not paid for this internship. And I did a lot of unpaid work. I understand the whole, you know, do it for the exposure thing and do it to like build your resume and your CV or whatever. And while there's some truth to that, you know what? You can get paid for something and still get great exposure. And I don't know. I think that's an excuse that companies use to save on their bottom line a little bit and get people to do good work for free. Because interns tend to do good work because we're hungry. We want to prove ourselves. We want to do the absolute best we can. And God damn it, we deserve to get paid for that. So I think, I don't know where things stand with that right now. And to be honest, I don't know how easy or hard it is to find an internship at a magazine, a website, some kind of content center that you would like to, you know, work for, that you aspire to. I would hope that at least some of them pay now, but I would encourage you to seek out those that, you know, that do offer some kind of pay. If not like a regular steady pay, then at least they're paying you something for the articles that you write that they're publishing. And then maybe you're also doing some work behind the scenes and learning about the editorial process and things like that. But yeah, I don't think you need experience. My point was, I was a teacher. I had no experience writing, and I just jumped into it again by taking really low paying jobs, by doing internships, and honestly, by doing a lot of writing that wasn't exactly the most satisfying. You know, writing my 100th something article about here's what a traditional resume format looks like versus a, you know, creative, oh my gosh, I wrote so many versions of the same article on resumes and it felt like I was just helping to fill the internet void with more junk clickbait stuff. So not a lot of satisfaction, but with every year that passed, I got more and better opportunities. I mean, it was after 3 years of working at the online travel magazine as an intern when I graduated up to an editorial assistant, and then I started getting opportunities. Like I was living in Washington, and one of the local travel bureaus reached out to me and said, we're looking for a writer who lives locally to write 4 feature pieces, one for each of our seasonal, catalogs. And we want to send you around the area to have all these different experiences so that you can write about them in a way that's appealing to tourists. And I was like, okay. And so not only did I get to do all this cool stuff, like go stay at bed and breakfasts and go to these different fairs and things like that for free, they also paid me like print magazine level for, per word rate for my writing, which was a huge first to me. And it was the first time I ever saw my words in print. I mean, this was before I got my first book deal or anything. So it took a while. It took a lot of patience, and you do have to build it up, but I don't think you need any writing experience to get started, because I sure as heck didn't have any. Next question is, what sorts of freelancing opportunities are best for newbies? So like I said, internships are great. Again, I really encourage you to look for ones that pay, and also I know that that's hard, and I don't judge you if you take one where you're working for free, because I did it. I was thinking about this one a lot, and like right now, if I knew I wanted to start freelancing, specifically ghostwriting books, okay, and I was starting from absolutely nothing, something I would look into personally is I would look into authors and ghostwriters who are hiring assistants, which I think happens more than we might think. And I'm not gonna say it's easy to find those jobs, because I don't think they're exactly out there posting on Monster. I think a lot of it is probably word of mouth, but if you start asking around, or even just reaching out, like doing cold emails, if an author or a ghostwriter has a contact form on their website, if you reach out and say, hey, I was wondering if you need an assistant. Even if they aren't looking for someone, they might be able to direct you to someone they know who has. Again, I know this is all a lot easier said than done, and I'm sorry I don't have better advice to you, but I think it can be an amazing opportunity. I know someone who, and I don't know how she got this job, and it was super hush-hush, like she had to sign NDAs in blood. But she was the assistant for a while for a very, very, very well-known series author. And the first few books in this person's series were already out. They were very popular. And my friend, as this person's assistant, got to help them do everything for the next several books. I mean, like whiteboards, plotting, brainstorming, figuring out how to tie up all the loose ends. She got in there, got her hands dirty firsthand to see how a incredibly successful author plots and finishes an entire series and writes it. She got to see their entire process. I could not be more jealous. And I can't imagine what an incredibly valuable experience that was for her. And she got paid for it. I don't know how much, but she got paid. I mean, it was, it sounded like a really good job, and she learned so much, and I'm sure made some incredible contacts from it. There's no way that didn't boost her career. Again, I wish I could give more clear advice on, how you can actually find it. If I ever hear of anyone who I know who is hiring, I will certainly let you know. If I ever decide to hire an assistant, I will definitely broadcast it here on my channel and invite everyone who is interested to apply. It's something I've considered. It's not something that I am able to do, probably not anytime within the next year for sure, but in the future, it's definitely something I would consider. And I would imagine a lot of full-time freelancers in all industries are, feel the same, because you just get to a point where it is more financially sustainable for you to pay an assistant to handle, tasks like scheduling and responding to emails and things like that, so that you can just focus on the actual writing that you're doing. And if you can do that, you can get more clients and you can make more money. You know what I mean? So it's definitely, once you get to a point where you're making enough that you can pay an assistant fairly, because I would not hire an assistant unless I could make sure they were getting paid really well for what they were doing for me. Yeah, anyway, I don't know. I'm rambling again, but I would encourage you to look for assistant jobs and internships that pay. It's the best advice I have. Sorry, I know it's not the most helpful. And the last one I have is, what advice do you have for pricing for freelance jobs? So I'm gonna link to another video I made. This is specifically about ghostwriting, but it's about how I set my rates. And I've talked about this before, but I charge all my ghostwriting clients the same rate. I actually have two rates. One is the rate I charge in almost all cases, because it's for ghostwriting a book from scratch. As in, the client comes to me with some ideas, maybe some like snippets they've written, some documents, but we are shaping the book from scratch together and writing the entire thing. And then I have another lower rate for clients who have either already written a draft of the book or they have written a complete scene-by-scene outline of the book. And so that you know, the story is thought out and I am just reading it and maybe doing a little restructuring and rewriting it, but I am not doing all of that developmental work, and that's why that rate is lower. And those are the only two rates I charge. I don't change it up because I feel like that keeps it fair for all of my clients, and also it just makes it easier for me to say sorry when someone tries to negotiate me down, because no. As far as how I set my rates, I can't remember exactly what I called it in that video, but I basically don't think about it in terms of time. Thinking about it is in terms of the quality of the content that you are giving the client. In my case, it is a book. And in my case, for every one that I ghostwrite, I put every bit as much work and care and thoughtfulness into it as I do for my own books that are published under my name. And yeah, think about the final product that you're giving them. What is that worth? Can you compare it to anything else that you've ever done? In my case, I know what my publishers have paid me for my books. I mean, it's a pretty wide range, but I know what that range is. And think about, you know, I can't remember what I called this. I think I called it like the bitterness factor or something. If you say yes to this job and the rate is down here, and you kind of settled because you really wanted to get the experience, how long is it going to take before you get bitter that you aren't being paid more? And, you know, I'm not, personally, I am not going to write someone a 50,000 word book for like $2,000. Because this is, you know, that's something that's going to take 2 to 3 solid months of my work time, and $2,000 isn't going to cut it for me, because this is my full-time job, and frankly, I have never been paid that little for any book that I've ever written. So yeah, I mean, you want to be fair. You want to be competitive. You want to look at other people's rates in your field and see what they're charging. I don't believe in undercutting everyone. I think that just does us all a disservice. If we are all trying to undercut each other, well, then eventually at some point we're just going to be giving away free labor, and like, come on guys, let's put some value on our creative efforts here. You know, you want to be competitive, but you also want to feel as though you are being paid fairly for what you know you can do and the quality of the thing that you are handing to the client. And that's just going to be different for everybody. But I say you find that rate and you stick to it. You're going to find somebody who is willing to pay it. Anyway, I know this is a bit of a short one today, but I gotta get back to writing. So let me know if you've got more questions. Leave them in the comments down below and I will add them to the list. And I'll see you guys later with another video. Bye.